This is a bike we've been screaming for years. Yamaha's finally slammed their big bang cross-plane R1 superbike engine in a naked bike and are taking on the likes of Aprilia, KTM, BMW and Kawasaki head on with the all-new FZ-10. It's not just the big bang engine that's got us all hot under the collar. With the same basic chassis as the R1, slightly softer suspension, ABS, cruise control, traction control, extremely comfortable ergonomics and a price point under 13 grand, Yamaha's bet for naked bike supremacy is going to be a very strong one indeed. So how good is it? We grabbed one and went for a blast over one of America's finest biking roads, the Tail of the Dragon in North Carolina, to find out. So look, good news, this thing is an absolute weapon. It's a fantastic bike. This bike is aimed purely at being a really good road bike. No, it's not designed to be a naked race or anything like that. This is a perfect road bike for munching big miles and getting into the twisties. It's a lot of fun. Right, so Yamaha's worked real hard to make sure the suspension is a bit more plush compared to your standard R1. The standard R1 obviously is set for the track. The front is very hard on a standard R1. This one a little bit softer, bump resistance is a bit more soft, so you get a nice sort of road holding feel about the bike. It turns really nicely. Very easy bike to ride, very cruisy bike to ride really, considering that it's got such a whopping engine inside of it. Good thing also with the throttle, the Yamaha chip controlled throttle that's been going around now since 2006. Now that's sort of led into various electronics that we see on Yamaha sports bikes these days, and even Yamaha sport tourers. With traction control on this thing is 3-stage traction control plus off. Very good traction control system. This is pretty much like the 2011 style traction control that was on the R1. As far as the engine goes, it's got beautiful, smooth, creamy power. You stick the thing in either A or standard mode, it feels great. I think B mode is a bit too harsh. I've kind of always thought that a little bit with the Big Bang Superbike engine. But if you stick it in standard mode even, you'll probably find that this is going to be as good as you'll need. A mode gives you a nice good punch off the bottom, lets you really wind that thing out. Beautiful sounding engine. I mean, like, there's very few bikes in the world that sound as good as a Big Bang R1 when it's on the gas. This is going to be more of probably a single person's sport touring type of bike really, because the pegs are very high up for the pillion passenger. Conversely, they're very comfortable for the actual rider. I mean, that rider triangle, you could sit in that thing all day. I mean, we've done 8 hours on the bike today with probably an hour stop for lunch. And it's been bloody hot, I'll tell you, and it's been very comfortable the entire time, which is really good for this bike. It's going to bode well for riders that want to get out there and do serious miles. And speaking of serious miles, very good under brakes. I think the brakes are not quite as strong as you would get in something like an Aprilia or a KTM, but they're very nice, have a good progressive feel about them. Obviously you got the ABS to back you up. It turns beautifully, it's got a really nice rear suspension action, nice and soft. It's going to be a really cool bike, and this is a bike that Yamaha desperately needed. We've been asking for years for this thing, and I'm so stoked that they're finally coming out with this bike. I mean, I think they've certainly gone the complete direction change from the retro look that Yamaha has been really dominating with over the last few years. The Transformer look, this is the Optimus Prime of motorcycles, this one. So, I mean, it's growing on me. I think when I first saw it, I was like, well, I don't know, but, there you go, mate, all good. It's definitely got it's got a character all of its own, and I think it's kind of future-proofed the bike in a way, to be honest. And so are these colours. I mean, hey, look, they match my boots, so that's all good, and didn't even mean for that to happen. But yeah, it's certainly, you'll see this thing coming from a mile away. Sounds great. It's got really good electronics, beautiful engine, good suspension, good bike, really good bike at $12,999. Good price too. It's going to take a lot of beating. So yeah, well done to Yamaha. About time. Thanks, guys. Good stuff.